Hello, my name is Matthew Medina, and this is my persuasive speech. Have you ever found yourself lying awake in bed just after your alarm clock has gone off, wondering if there will ever be an end to this vicious cycle of getting up every day, going to work, running yourself ragged all day while you're there, and thinking of all the things you're going to do once you get home, just to finally get home and find yourself too exhausted to pursue those tasks and activities that you've been thinking of all day? And then once you go to bed and get some rest, you wake up the next day feeling like you haven't really recharged your batteries, like you could still get more rest, but you have to return to the work week over and over. This is a common problem for a lot of adults and children around the world, and a primary cause of this issue is the 40-hour work week. The 40-hour work week was implemented in 1926 by Henry Ford and his Ford Motor Company. And this was implemented to bring better standards to the laborers at the time, who before this were expected to work 80 to even 100 hours in a work week without extra compensation for their overtime. 12 years later, the Fair Labor Standards Act was implemented, capping the standard work week at 44 hours. 2 years later, it would be brought down to 40 hours to match Henry Ford's model. A lot of people saw this as Henry hitting the nail on the head. He figured out how to make the work-life balance work. But I'm here to say that I think that 40 hours is just a little too much for the average person to get all that they want out of life and make a livable wage. The nonprofit 4-day work week global did a 6-month-long study over 61 participating companies, including retailers, tech companies, banks, and other nonprofits, to see the effects of cutting down the 40-hour work week to a 32-hour work week, thus making the employees come in 4 days a week instead of 5. Surveys were given to the companies and the employees after the study had taken place, and the results were extremely positive. Companies saw a 71% decrease in employee burnout, a 55% increase in work ability, a 57% decrease in attrition, which is the slow reducing of productivity over time due to burnout, and a 35% increase in revenue. 52 of the 61 participating companies, which is 92%, continued the 4-day work week after the study was over. Boston College professor Juliet Shore, the lead researcher in the study, said in January of 2025, when referring back to her study, of the companies, they are continuing because it is successful. There are a few reasons for this. Employee well-being goes up a lot. Self-reported productivity goes up even more. So the companies are getting happier, healthier employees who are typically as productive or more than a 5-day work week schedule. These results are a strong sign that companies care for their employees will get stronger results just for prioritizing their mental health and work-life balance. In 2009, the Peach County School District in Georgia, due to budget cuts, was forced to reduce their time to 4 days a week. And the results there were also extremely positive, and it is now spread throughout the state of Georgia into more states around. Of this time, the teachers purported that they had more time to work on class plans, more time to rest so that when they came into the class, they felt more energized and able to give their all to the students, and they felt more apt to pursue social lives, which is extremely hard when considering that teachers, on top of their 40 hours in the classroom, have to spend even more time at home preparing for classes, grading work, all of these sorts of things that kill time, and they aren't paid any extra for this. The 40-hour work week will continue to burn out hardworking individuals, making freedom and fulfillment an ever more distant dream for those who are just trying to work hard to provide for themselves and their families. I propose that companies who want to show that they care for the mental health needs of their employees move to 32-hour work weeks so that their employees can be better rested and more motivated when they come into work. I also propose that those employees who are feeling unhappy with their work-life balance advocate within their companies for a 32-hour work week that would be more suited for their life goals. Thank you for listening.